For this presentation, I will be discussing the Automatic Electric GTE 120A series of payphones. This particular 120A is a rotary dial payphone. This phone could also be equipped with a touch call dial. You change out the faceplate and put in a touch tone dial, or touch call is what they referred to it as, and then you would have a tone dial type telephone. The 120A was the first of the single slot series. Then they had a 120B and a 120C. I have produced a video for the 120B. I do not own a 120C. I'll remove the upper housing briefly and show you the inside. And I will compare the chassis board of this phone with the chassis board of a 120B. This phone is connected up to a conventional step-by-step line, and this phone left the factory as a post-pay payphone. If there was option changes done on the chassis board and I added the coin control relay, then it could be set up as a coin first or a semi-prepay phone. I've chose to leave this as a post-pay phone. I will call a number here in my central office and answer it on the speakerphone, and when I do, it'll turn off the transmitter of the handset until I deposit a coin, and I will deposit a coin so it'll complete the circuit so we could talk between the two phones. There's no transmitter battery at this point. I'll deposit a coin. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have transmitter battery. The coin went right into the coin box, had I put the coin box actually inside of the phone. This is a Western Electric coin box, but they are interchangeable. I have the upper housing removed off of this 120A, and as you can tell, that's missing the coin relay because this is a post-pay payphone, and the chassis board in here is the very early, because it's a first generation or one of the first generation chassis boards. It has a large connector here, and then the mating plug is on the upper housing, and they have guide pins so that this is flexible and can move around as needed, so that the upper housing will plug into it without damaging the connector. I'll show a 120B chassis board, which is of course the second generation, and you can see how there's been a lot of changes between the A series and the B series. Again, this chassis board can be configured to replace any triple slot phone that Automatic Electric made by just setting wires in different orders, different arrays, or single conductor wiring here. The upper housing connector here on the B series is a 12 pin, I believe, or 15 pin connector. I think it's a 15 pin, and I'll show that in a moment. That plugs into here. So you can set the rate on dip switches, or you set the rate on this phone by making jumper changes on the chassis board, which you would need to book for that. I think I have it set up for 5-cent operation. The upper housing here, here's the B series, has the 15-pin plug here, connector, and this is actually the plug on the chassis board. This particular unit is set up as a touch call with a touch tone pad. I could remove the rotary dial from this housing assembly and put it in here and maintain this as a rotary phone. I only have one rotary phone of the AE series, the single slot series in my collection. The A series is a rare to find phone. The B series is very common, and then towards the very end of automatic Electric GTE, they had a C series, and that was taken over by Palco.